come to me and they're very concerned, married for a very long-term relationship, but the sex is fading. Like they no longer find themselves attractive. They used to have the sex 3 times. Now it's once a month and it's crazy. Oh yes. These things happen in marriages or in long-term relationship. So let's have conversations on how you can work out the situation so that at least both of you are at the same place. Maybe not the same place, but closer to the same place.
Yeah. The truth is that most times there are a couple of things in the background that have caused you to lose interest in the partner.
Right.
For example, some people it's physical. Physical, or this one is saying someone grew fat or someone put on the weight or someone has a huge stomach. I had this friend, the wife gave birth to the first baby. And he kept telling me, oh, she's so fat. When she undresses, I don't even want to touch her. I want the other woman who was. I told him, you know what? She's going through a phase. And actually she lost the weight.
Right.
So sometimes it's physical. Sometimes it's physical. Someone is not wanting to do something with their person because, a certain thing changed on their body.
And you know what? Seasons will change and people will change. And unfortunately, you can't also blame the man.
Yeah.
Because the heart wants what it wants. But if that's the case, what do they then do? How can they make it work? Right?
Yeah, technically, when you talk about sex, sexiness is a state of mind, not what you are, not what you carry.
Right.
So, one, you have to think confidently about who you are. That's that's a new you. Start working within that.
Yeah.
I have seen a lot of women who come and say, I've gained weight and I don't feel, actually, it's not him who doesn't want, but I feel
Like
uncomfortable.
I
don't want to give because I don't feel like I am sexy anymore.
Right.
No, your body is sexy the way it is in that level. Feel it. Start with your brain. Work it out. The moment you draw your brain off it, it digresses, goes off totally. I don't even feel my friend downstairs anymore. I don't feel like she's there.
But then what would you tell the man who has these feelings of my woman has put on a lot of weight and it's actually bothering him? Because many times they give us advice, love yourself. I'm like, it's easier to say. But for a man, what should he do in order to support me who's now put on weight or in order to help himself find me attractive? Because I am in that big body. There's a girl who you used to love. She's still there.
Guess what?
What do you do then
Guess
as a man?
what? There's a well-known, they are well-known. They have so many followers on social media. And the wife actually, the husband started going to do exercises with the wife.
Right.
And it was a good thing. It shows that.
It's a turn on.
Exactly. Yeah. It's a turn on. He's trying to put his woman back. I loved it. And he used to make, short videos when he's supporting his wife. So support your wife.
We are at a level to understand that men are 90% visual. I see, I get attracted. And then we're not saying that the thick women are not sexy anymore. No, they are. And there are a lot of men like me, I love thick.
You've put yourself out there, except you're married.
Exactly. I love thick. But what I'm trying to say here is, in any skin you are with, work with them. Because I have seen a lot of couples who come and say, Brian, I don't feel the need to have sex anymore. Like, why? Isn't she giving you what she used to give you? No. You tell her, Tan, you're in one position for so long because her body cannot do the flexibility. You who has changed body, work with your body so that you are comfortable in it.
Right.
You see, the fitness does not matter how small or
how big you are.
You can still be fit with
But also, as we step away from the physical, let us also look at the other things that affect our relationship. A relationship is like
it goes through
through a lot of things.
Waste.
So you'll find that some people actually do not even want to have sex because there's no money in the house. Like things are not working out. They can't pay the bills and stuff. Now that is where the communication issue comes in. You need to learn to talk to your partners. Whatever you're going through, you're two people in the relationship. You get it? So don't let these other things that are affecting you in the mind, even if sex is in the mind. I mean, like for me, when I'm angry, I need even sex more. You get it? Because it calms me down. It helps me not to stay long in the situation.
Yes, that is why, for me, I believe that, yes, you talked about the things that happen in a relationship also should how are you treating your woman, first of all? Because
Yeah.
maybe the only time you are present is when you want sex.
Aha.
If
At
the
night.
only time you are present, by present I don't mean physical presence, I mean emotional connection.
Yeah.
The emotional connection is absent. Now, women are wired differently. If a woman doesn't feel the connect emotionally, and emotional connection comes when you are vulnerable towards me. When Brian, you share your outmost fears with me, Sente banangu, lwaleero ziganye.
Yes.
And you actually sit down and we have conversations
Yeah,
with that.
you know, it's very easy to
That-
soothe a person like
Yes,
that. You
I
know,
would-
it's okay. Today is a bad day. Tomorrow, you know.
Nathan Kochiro
Yeah.
okay, so what does Brian, what calms him down? Most men will come down because of sex, but already because you're vulnerable enough to share with your woman, she's going to put herself in spaces where she wants to make you or to give you that satisfaction, and she's going to want you. But most of you distance yourselves
that
when you're going
period.
through situations. So we lose the emotional connect, and therefore the physical disappears. And that's on
Exactly.
point blank.
The other thing also people used to have to pay attention to is kill the routine sections. Like, a lot of people think about sex when they are retiring to bed.
Right.
Like someone is too tired. Probably you have a baby. You know,
Right.
motherhood. Let me tell you, I respect women now. From the time I became a father.
After having a baby.
Hey, you are up all time. It's busy all the time. You actually
Right.
sometimes I used to look at her shoulder and it's really like weight of breastfeeding,
Gakoye.
holding her, and you're like, really? So this is what I'll tell people:
Right.
kill the routine. If she is doing whatever it is, try to make the baby sleep.
Right.
Let the baby sleep because you are doing that. So my idea is killing the routine will help you become sexy again and feel like you need the sex. Don't get used to the idea that pulling WD, jacket tala, then we start.
Right.
Yeah. Now, there's something else that you guys are forgetting. You know, when you are dating, probably you had intimacy before. And that is for most people, you know, before you got married.
Right.
Now, what happens is there are people, they were doing certain things before, and now when they get into the marriage, I can't do that anymore.
Because you've grown out of them. People
Yeah, but let
outgrow
me tell you
things.
something.
Remember
I
that.
know they outgrow
Yes.
things, but as we try to find the footing of what happened that I cannot have sex with this person, can I try that thing that we used to do, you know, when we're dating? I mean, you're trying because you really are missing the intimacy with this person.
And it
probably
has-
that will be something that will switch the person on. So
And it-
try it.
But
It's
you
not-
can't be
yeah.
trying when the other person is not trying. This is a mutual
two
thing.
thing.
I'm just telling you that
Eh,
sometimes
no,
it's guessing games.
No,
you're trying
I'm building
to find,
on your point.
Yeah.
Like for you to listen to me, Maria. For you to try to get in spaces, and it's really nice to try out things that you used to do before. He must want also to try out those things before.
must be
so it
available
has
to
to
work with
be a two-way thing. I can't be wanting to try and making our sex better when my man doesn't want to, or my man can't be trying to make the sex life better, and you don't want to. So you have to both agree that, listen, it's not working. What do we do? Get into a place of realizing that it's not working. Now we are spending 3 weeks. What's going on? Because guess what? Life does take you in different directions.
know,
You're looking for
yeah.
school fees. It's not. First of all, I need you to understand the reality. It's not always going to be the same.
Exactly.
Period.
Exactly.
That is real life. Sex at 40 is different.
yeah.
Sex at 35 is different. Sex at 20 is going to be different. So if you've been together from 20 to 40, don't be like, oh my God, we're in the 40s now, it's not working. Yeah, it's not. Guess what? The back is not backing anymore the way it used to. So you have to be realistic with where you
it's
are in
going.
life.
So,
you can't be a man of a certain age and you want to do crazy. You can no
Exactly.
longer. So keep it on missionary if it's working for you. Because at the end of the day, satisfaction is the temukola bintu biba suseko
but-
myaka.
That's to say, well, one thing we have to respect as people who are talking about sex. Once a man comes up and says, "There's a woman who comes to me, Brian, guy Yangambi, it's not working. It doesn't feel me anymore."
Right.
That woman is beaten because of what the man has said. You should limit your verbal experiences when you're going through this series.
Right.
This lady is broken because the man said, "Sex, I don't
And
understand."
picking up from that is quite hard.
Because now she's broken. And there's a man also who came and said, "Mkazi amgamba byokola olinga baby." So when you're dealing with mature people, old people, avoid the verbal conversations
Right.
that will dent the other. Once an ego has been broken, bring it back is very hard.
It's very
So
hard.
once sex is failing at a certain stage, be careful what you say. assess the
Because
situation.
already they are beating themselves up with, oh my God,
Exactly.
I'm not satisfying my women.
But you can actually bring it away in a joking manner. There's a gentleman I just gave a trick. Said, tell you what, the woman is no longer even mentioning. This mama twafuka va Luganda. Jokingly.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then they're like, for some reason I even forget that I have a man. People forget.
But
Ate
also,
Chilala,
intimacy is also non-verbal communication. There's a way bodies communicate, and you pick up on certain things, you know. So I speak for women that I've talked to, some women, this business of also getting into marriage, let me say, and then now, you're being courteous and waiting all the time for the man to ask you.
attend the
You know, there's that non-verbal communication. Bodies communicate, and that's why there's intimacy. So let us learn also to do that non-verbal communication. Like, I shouldn't wait for Brian to always tap me, Ndiye no
Indicate
five
into
to be siwa. Ninda Brian ngambe chuka. You know, I mean, let us. It's interesting, you know, do funny things, pillow fights, you know, stupid, silly things.
Be creative.
Banange.
But then you have to also keep the point of biology in there.
Yeah.
Hormonal changes.
Yeah.
Especially in women. It's going to happen.
Very much.
She's going to wake up one day and she doesn't enjoy sex as much as she used to. And she's going to need a little bit of motivation for that to happen. Now, are you as a man, men are so ignorant of these things and you refuse to read.
About
as a man, while you're a woman, because we go through different things, for you to understand a woman's body, you're going to acquire knowledge.
Yeah.
And the only way you can do that is read. I see
about
you on the internet.
Empower
finding out about
yourself
it.
with
Empower
knowledge.
yourself. So read, find out, okay, what happens to a woman
Boy, child.
when she's going through menopause?
Yes.
What happens to a woman when she's going through her menstruals? Okay, when she has children, what's happening? And
Yeah.
also the imbalance
By the way,
in
men,
libido.
educate yourself.
Educate yourself.
Yeah.
But also,
You'll know what
men
to
should
do.
also pay attention that different women react different from their seasons. Menopause treat people differently. So one man has been dealing with a certain Mariam. Why is Mariam 45?
But we're talking about marriage.
I'm just
where
giving an
you've been
example.
with one woman.
No.
Hey.
Because they've had stories. My wife is so horny these days. And then you're like,
Wange Natalie.
Yafunye yomla. Stay out of your brain. Understand everyone is treated differently.
Exactly.
But you as a woman, remember two things. You have to keep shaking the bed. If you don't shake the bed, the marriage will shake.
So because you're putting women under pressure to shake the bed, find other things, because people tend to think that sexual connection is penetration. That's not the case. Sexual connection is beyond penetration.
Yes.
And you have to be in spaces where your depth of feeling each other is beyond the physical, where I can just look at Mariam and we are already having sex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we're already
Tantric
connected,
sex.
we're into it. That small touch is giving me satisfaction. The way you're smiling at me. And people are wondering, why is Lucky and her husband sitting in a different, and they're doing signals via Twitter again. It's because we have blocked out everyone. You're not even there. I
Yeah.
can be seated here and all I can see is Mariam. Like, I'm
Yeah.
concentrating on Mariam.
Yeah.
And there's a hell lot of things going on.
Yeah.
That connection to build has to
it's
be
beyond.
built with time. It's emotions involved. It's allowing yourself to be vulnerable. The sex will just flow without even penetration.
But also, married
as-
people need to change
And
environment.
as a man, and as a man, you need to create a sexual energy that makes things work. You know, sex is an energy. Like every time you walk in, the girl has a previously on sex. But if the previously on sex was boring, if the previously on sex was boring, she'll be dented. But if the previously on sex,